Good evening, YouTube family. South Texas Prepper here. Today is October the 22nd, 2023. I'm here at Wally World, guys. I came to pick up some, a few items for the house. Just wanted to talk about not so much what's going on, but or the obvious events that are happening all around us and things like that. Really what I want to talk about, guys, is kind of like what I want to call the process of what's going on. So I know I've said this before, but I started prepping because when I learned how the money system worked, that's kind of like what woke me up. It really wasn't so much waking up as like it jarred me awake when I started. I was raised a Democrat, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was on that side of the aisle, I guess you could say, a liberal or whatever. But when I started looking into, like, when I really started researching for myself, and I'm sure I don't have to explain what I learned, right, to y'all, because I'm sure many of y'all were same boat I was. But anyway, make a long story short, I learned how the world really worked, how much of a deception everything was, how we had been, kind of like dragged away from our natural state of being, so to speak. But anyway, make a long story short, it was because of the financials, right? The way I learned what money really was, things like that. That our money was not backed by gold, that we were under a fiat system. It was that everything's basically run by the Federal Reserve and other central banks like the BIS and stuff like that, the Bank of International Settlements, and things of that nature. And so if you followed along, you would have thought, the end is near. The money it can't. There's no way it could keep on going. It's gonna collapse, right? Like in 2008, the Federal Reserve stepped in and basically just bailed out all these corporations that were in trouble, these bankers and things like that. They got bailed out, basically were given free money. And in those years, like, I came to learn that, so I didn't know that at the time that these guys could just keep it going. Our system should have collapsed a long time ago, right? Big corporations should have gone bankrupt if they followed the rules that are in place, the laws that are in place. When you go bankrupt, then you can't pay your creditors, right? And so we've been kind of like dragged along. What was the term I'm looking for? We've just been, we've just been, they're just playing with us, guys. At least my opinion. Okay, I'm just gonna give you my opinion from what I see, and then I'll put a little caveat, right? I noticed that where I live at here in Texas, San Antonio in particular, the economy, not that I don't see what's going on, like with our dollar. Of course, it's losing value. We have high inflation. Our gasoline is not too bad right now. We are at. Another thing was I wanted to give an update as to our gas prices, things like that. Our gas right now is $2.82, right? I usually put gas at the Murphy's. The local grocery store chain here, HEB, down the street, their gas was at $2.79, something like that. So it's pretty cheap compared to other parts of the country. So Texas, I notice, is that a lot of money is coming into Texas. A lot of people are moving over here. We have a lot of energy, and energy, guys, is what makes it go. It makes the world go. The energy, right? We have a lot of oil, natural gas, all that. Where I live at, we're on the way, like in, basically what you would call my area, right? There's a natural gas hub that goes everywhere. From there, it's a hub. And sometimes my wife would like, man, well, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna collapse? Or other people that tell me like, well, when is it gonna happen? Why haven't we collapsed? Or where's the shit hit the fan? You know what I mean? Excuse my language, but you know what I mean? Where's the SHTF or whatever? And when you're driving around, I mean, there's so much activity. I mean, of course, yeah, a lot of it is credit card debt, things like that. But so what I'm getting at, guys, is that they're stringing us along, right? That was the term I was looking for. The powers that be, the people that run this world, whatever, right? That run the system, right? That make it go. They're just stringing us along through the media. They have crisis after crisis after crisis, and keep people on their toes. And you know what? I keep falling for it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh, like right now, another thing that's going on right now is ammo shortage, right? For those of y'all that have AR-15s and like to shoot that 5.56, in particular, right? There's really, like, it's kind of hard to find right now, the 5.56. If you go in store like to Academy or places like that, at least from what I've seen, there's still 223, okay? Because Lake City, the Winchester factory, the government, it's owned by the government, right? But Winchester runs it, and they're not I guess, distributing to the civilians, right? A lot of things going on. This corporation from Czechoslovakia just bought up like 70% of the ammo companies, right? That make up Federal and you name it, the companies that fall, that people know of, that make ammo. This company from Czechoslovakia bought it, and the name of them right now escapes me. Last year they bought Fiocchi ammo, Italian company. Anyway, my point is, guys, is that there's a lot going on, and people will get caught up in the hype, right? They'll get caught up. This disaster, this tragedy that's going on in Gaza right now. So many people dying, innocent people, whether you're pro-Palestinian or pro-Israel, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? A lot of innocent people are dying because of people in the government, right? People in authority. They're trying to push their agenda or trying to push one agenda or another. It's the innocent people that are dying, okay? So we have all these things going on. We have the disaster, another tragedy in the Ukraine. All these things going on, guys. To me, my opinion is these governments and all these big people have drained the planet dry, and so now they're going to the next system to drain our energy, right? To loot us, to loot the planet. To me, that's all that's going on. To paint it with a broad brush, okay? So I believe that this collapse, we are going through a collapse, guys. It's gonna be dragged along. It's gonna drag along, and food prices are gonna go up, energy is gonna keep going up, and people are gonna keep paying those prices because they gotta eat. Here in America, we're very insulated. I mean, I'll admit, we are not. Times are good here compared to what other places, around the world, and some parts of the country are doing worse than others. But at least from my part of the world, my piece of the world, amen. There ain't much to complain about. But yes, prices are high. Energy is very high. Our energy bills are very high. Insurance, all that stuff, right? There, which is just, to me, just a way for the powers that be to take our stuff, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is. That's the way it is. They're stealing from us. Okay, we're just modern day slaves, guys. Okay, that's all it is. So I believe that they're gonna keep dragging all this along, dragging it out, and people will just kind of like just get used to it, just live through it, and there's not much that we can do except prepare ourselves, our houses, our homes, take care of our business in the best way we can. That's all we can do to mitigate all these things going on around us. The reason that I bring up about like my state, my home state of Texas, is because not only are they, just stringing us along, right? Kind of like just stringing us along just enough to get by. Part of it is that also where I live, this state is economically it's in a better spot than other places, right? And when you step back and look at what are the things that are good about where I'm living at, is that there's a lot of people moving here, coming in with a lot of money, a lot of wealth is coming over here. And when you look at what it is to be as a human being, to survive in this world, whether you're back in the caveman days or 1800s or 1700s, whatever, ancient civilizations, whatever time period lived in, you needed energy to survive in one way or another. Fire, steam, whatever. And our state, Texas, has a lot of energy, a lot of oil, natural gas, things like that. We have a lot of natural resources. So I think some parts of the country are gonna feel it worse, and I think that they're using these wars to keep people in fear and to let and to give the government, which, I mean, either way they still do it, but I think the wiggle room is running out. So these wars just help cover up all the BS that they've been pulling on us, right? And the sad thing is, a lot of people they're just hopelessly brainwashed and don't see what's going on. No matter, I mean, I've honestly kind of given up trying to explain to people, because as you all know, when you realize how this world works, it's like all these dots that you connect, and it's a very gradual process, right? At first it's sudden, like boom, you wake up and you realize, all these rabbit holes, right? And then you start piecing it together, and you realize, okay, this is a process, this is a system that we're living under. And you start piecing it together, connecting the dots, and you realize we're living in a goddamn full of satanic people, and all these evil things going on around us. And you kind of just, okay, you start dealing with it, right? And it's gradual. It takes a while for you to kind of put these pieces together, and so that you can how you perceive this world that we're living in. You know what I'm saying? How your brain perceives everything that's going on, and how you can articulate it to other people, to your family, right? Without sounding like a freaking idiot, or some kind of, like they always say, a conspiracy theorist, right? You try to find ways to kind of in a level-headed way explain everything that's going on. And if people don't see what is going on all around them, right, then they never will, until things reach the point where they're gonna be at its worst. Only then will they oh, You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, this is not a rant. It's just kind of like a realization that these things, these cycles happen all the time, and they look different to different people. Everybody sees it different. Everybody kind of like experiences it in a different way. Some of them are, some of them, like in Bosnia in the 1990s, those people were like in a real SHTF situations, but they got through the fall of the Soviet Union. They lost a lot of people because of that collapse, right? For alcoholism, suicides, all these things. People died in different ways, but kind of like it was not really Mad Max. Now Bosnia was kind of Mad Max. I think the people in Gaza right now that are living in Gaza, from what I've seen, I'm not there. I don't know anybody that lives there. Okay, I don't know anybody that lives in Israel. I do know somebody that actually does. They do live in Israel, but it's kind of like not the way they see it on TV, or the way they're kind of like describing it on TV. Very different. But Gaza, I think, is very close to like from what I've seen, it is horrible there. And it's been horrible for years. I don't even know how these people, how they can sleep at night. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to get with y'all. It's been a while. Hadn't made a video. Steven LaFleur, how you doing, brother? Thanks for all your videos, man. You've been putting up some good stuff. Also want to give a shout out to Charlotte Costa. She came out with a new YouTube channel. I think it's called Charlotte the Agorist. Charlotte the Agorist. Just wanted to give her a shout out. She has some good stuff. She talks about a lot of the things, some of the people, some of the organizations, and some of these institutes that have been around and have kind of like socially engineered our world to the point where people are brainwashed the way they are, and they don't know it, because that's how good these guys are at getting people to behave a certain way, to think a certain way. So I would, y'all want to check it out. Anyway, guys, I hope y'all been doing good. I'm here. I check out all our, our community. The prepper community is a very good community. We know a lot of stuff, all together. Prepper Now comes out with like up-to-date stuff about what's going on all over the world, the hot points, right, on the planet, and he gives really good information. Just our community is great. Alaska Prepper, just so many to name. Great stuff. Melissa K. Norris on homesteading. Just good stuff on how to be prepared, bear independent. I watch all these guys, all these people, all these ladies and gentlemen, making good stuff. So, anyway, guys, I hope y'all have a good weekend. I hope your weekend was good. I've been on call, which I hate. Facilities maintenance for y'all, any guys that are out there, ladies that do apartment maintenance and stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The on call. But gotten used to it over the years. Anyway, guys, I hope y'all doing good out there. Just keep prepping. I guess the point of this video is that they're gonna keep stringing us along, and they're gonna be throwing these crises at us to keep us on our toes, keep us talking about it, getting ready. Oh, nothing happened. Look, it's like the Gaza. I kind of knew Israel was not gonna invade Gaza, like when they said it's already going like a week, right? That they were supposed to go into Gaza. That they were gonna go in, and people were freaking out. I was like, man, like that's kind of fast to do that. Like, the IDF is a formidable foe, but these guys, these Palestinians, they have a lot of fighting experience. They've been out there in the Middle East and all these places, Syria and Yemen, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya. They've been doing the damn thing over there, guys. They've been actually not training, they've been fighting. So, whatever happens out there, if these people actually go toe to toe into an actual ground war, it's gonna get ugly for both sides. So I couldn't imagine them just going in there like willy nilly, like so fast. But they're gonna keep dragging these things out, guys. You're gonna be seeing a lot of crises pop up, and so just be ready. Just don't freak out. I'm still preparing the way I do. I pick up a little bit of things here and there, food, water, meds, basic meds, over-the-counter meds, especially because winter's coming, things like that. I don't freak out. I try not to freak out. Sometimes I get caught up. I ain't gonna lie. I get caught up in like, oh, the ammo, or the medicine or whatever, right? They said there's gonna be a shortage, but that's what we've been preparing for years. I've been preparing already, like pre-COVID, right? Couple of months before COVID started, or the hype started, I was already prepping because of the financials. That's what got me like freaked out. Like, hey, you know what? Honestly, guys, I didn't have no preps, like really, not to speak of, as far as, and I already considered me a prepper, but when I saw the signs that things were about to happen, and boom, I was good. Anyway, guys, good talking to y'all. I'll see y'all on my next video, guys, and y'all take care of each other and love each other out there. That's what we're here for. God bless.